there are a lot of people who want to make a lot of women feel like they're not real women because they're not big enough. They're not big enough here, or they're not small enough there, or they don't do the right kind of work, or they do the wrong kind of work. And so I think, I mean, I've of course fallen prey to that like any other woman in the world.
I do hear a lot of people talk about, or they wonder why butch women are butch women, you know? Like, if you're a woman and you're butch, that must mean that you're transgendered or that you're trying to be a man, as they always say, or like trying and failing. But the way I see it is that being transgendered, that's a different issue because it, wanting to change your body or wanting to have a male body is kind of a separate issue.
I do feel like I have to fight for my identity as a woman, because I think people, especially nowadays, they kind of just assume that I'm going by like male pronouns or that I want to be known as a man or something like that, which I understand. They're just trying to like be respectful, but like I find that I more often have to really hold on to the places and spaces where I am perceived as a woman. If that's like I'm at dinner with my girl and a waiter says ma'am, I'll take it. Like, so I'm like, at least he saw me as a woman. Good grief. Like, it's hard, but it's hard to go into like a gay club and have everybody calling me like male pronouns. That's not what's true for me.
I've also experienced, particularly when as a young person, being told by society in general, by people in particular, that if I felt a certain way about myself, if I felt a certain way about my body or particular things about my body, then it must mean that I was a man. And I think that's dangerous.
I was at a wedding recently, and two lesbians I had just met asked me if I was transitioning to male. And that kind of bothered me because it feels like I keep getting asked, and that feels like a kind of pressure. I mean, try and imagine if people were saying to you, are you going on a diet? And then somebody else says, oh, will you be going on a diet? And somebody else says, are you trying to lose weight? I mean, after a while of hearing this, you'll start to feel like, gee, maybe I should be going on a diet because everyone else seems to think so. I mean, it's one thing when it's internal, it's coming from the inside. It's different when it's feeling like pressure. And sometimes it's implied, like you're too chicken or you're just not realizing that you are male. And I don't appreciate that. It feels very insulting. It feels invalidating of who I am.